This is what we are going to build today. So as you can see, this is the about page. Very short, very clean and minimalist. So let's start. The first thing I'm going to do is just move everything to the side like this, and let's go back to the home page. And now we need to create a new page. I already created it right here. So to create a new page, we have to go to the left panel and click on the plus icon right here, and then click the new page option. And there we have it, a new page. Now what we need to do is to change the width to 1440 pixels, just like this. And now I'm going to delete this. Don't do it. I'm going to delete this page and get back to the about page. So let's start with the hero section. We can just copy the hero section from our home page, Ctrl+C. Then let's go to the about page and Ctrl+V to paste it. Let's change the height to about 3000 pixels instead of fit content. So now we can clean up some things. Let's delete the CTAs. Let's delete the pill and also this text right here, and this one can stay. Let's change the text to Alex and let's increase the size to about 500 pixels, just like this. And now we need to change the width to fill. Now I want to replace this background image with another background image, and I'm going to upload an image from my computer. So I'm going to click here on image and then choose image, and I'm going to choose this one and click open. Now let's change the position property to focal point, and let's set the focal point right here between his eyes, just like that. The next thing I'm going to do is to remove the mask. Now let's remove this layer, this stack, by pressing Ctrl+Delete, and then let's add a blending style, and it will be a soft light, just like this. The next thing we're going to do is to add a frame. So let's press F on the keyboard, and then let's draw a frame just like this. The position type is going to be absolute, not relative, but we need to make sure it's sitting inside the hero stack, just like this. And now Framer has set it to relative, so let's change it back to absolute, just like this. And now we can move it all the way to behind the text layer. And we want to make sure that the Z index is set to 0, and that the same property, which we can add from the styles menu, will be 1 or 2, anything above 0. Now let's select the frame and change the fill color to dark purple. Yeah, this one looks good. And let's change the opacity to 20%, and let's add a filter, a blur filter of 50, and let's also add a blending style. Let's choose the lighten property, the lighten style, just like this. And now we can just play with the colors to see what works best. We can choose a lighter color or a darker one, whatever you want. It's up to you. I think this one works. Now let's add a scroll effect to our background image. So let's select our image, and from the right panel, let's click on the plus icon next to effects. And from the scroll menu, let's select scroll speed. Now let's change the speed to 60%. And let's open up the preview and see what happens. As you can see, we have a nice looking scroll animation, but let's improve it even more. So let's select our image, and from the right panel, let's click on the plus icon next to effects, and let's select scroll transform from the scroll menu, and let's set the from state to, let's change the opacity to 1 and scale also to 1, and let's click on here the to state, and let's change the scale to 1.3. So now let's open up the preview and see what happens. As you can see, the image is scaling once we scroll and goes back to 100% when we scroll up again. Now let's add a scroll speed to our text layer to upgrade our animation even more. So let's select our text layer, and from the right panel, let's click on the plus icon next to effects, and from the scroll menu, let's select scroll speed and set the speed to 20%. Now let's open up the preview and see what happens. Now you can see that the text layer is disappearing when we scroll and reappearing when we scroll up again. I think that works great, looks great, and now we are done with the hero section. So we can now move on to the rest of our page. Now let's go back to our home page and let's select this text right here. It's in our experience section. Let's select the text right here and copy it. And then let's go back to the about page, select our page and paste it. Now I have this text block right here, so I'm going to copy the entire text and paste it right here. The next thing I'm going to do is to change the color to 100%, to change the color to white with 100% opacity. And I want to change also the letter property to -2.5. So let's select the text layer and change the letter property to -2.5 pixels. Now let's place the text layer inside a stack by pressing Ctrl Alt plus Enter, and let's name the stack heading. Let's press Ctrl Alt Enter again and name the stack container. Let's press Ctrl Alt plus Enter once more and change the stack to about text. Now let's change the padding of our about text stack to 80 pixels. And now let's add our stats right here. So we can just duplicate this text. Let's cut it and make sure it's inside, it's directly in the container stack, not in heading. And let's change the direction property of our container stack to vertical. And also let's change the gap to 64 pixels. Now let's change the text to something like 52 million dollars, for example, and let's change the size to 104 pixels. And let's change the letter property to -5. Now we have this small text right here. So let's just duplicate the 52 million text and copy this text, client revenue impacted. And let's change the size to 18 pixels. And let's change the letter property to 0. And the color to, it's also white with 50% opacity. Let's select both of these layers and place them inside a stack, which we will call stat or metric. Yes, metric is better. And let's change the gap between the items to 8 pixels. And now we can duplicate metric 2 times. And this one will be 25K. High intent leads captured. And this one will be brands I've collaborated with. Let's change that to 110 plus. And let's remove this dollar symbol. Now we can select all 3 of the stacks and let's place them inside a stack, which we will call metrics or metrics wrapper. And let's change the direction to horizontal. Let's also change the distribute property to space between and make sure each metric stack is set to fit content. The width is set to fit content. Now let's also change the text layers inside each metric stack to fit content. The width should be fit content, just like this, instead of fixed. Yep, and that's it. Now, the next thing we're going to do is to add this image right here. So let's press F on the keyboard and let's draw our new frame just like this. And I'm going to upload an image from my computer. So to do that, I'm going to click right here on the color and then go to this icon right here and choose image. Now I'm going to choose this one and I'm going to give it a 16 pixels radius. And let's see, okay, the height is 1122. And let's set the width to fill. We need to make sure it's inside our container stack, just like this. One last thing we need to do here is to change the gap between items to 100 pixels. Yeah, that's much better. Now we are almost done. We just need to copy our footer and place it at the bottom. So let's go back to our home page and let's select our footer and copy it. Go back to the about page, select our page and paste it just like this. Now, one last thing I forgot to mention is to change the line property in our text right here to 1.02. And also let's select our heading. Let's select our heading stack and change the overflow property to visible. Just like this. And now we are done with our about page. As you can see, we have a nice looking scroll animation and I think pretty awesome about page. It's simple, straightforward, and clean. And I think it looks amazing. So that is it for today's lesson. I will see you in the next video.